Bloody hell, are we still doing these?
Only $1.30.
Yes, I know I only did this a couple of weeks ago, but I've got an opportunity to actually start looking at them in the month they're supposed to have been released, because they've all arrived quite early. I can actually get myself back on track, and I ain't turning down that opportunity. Also, there's a really interesting couple of boxes, and I really want to see what's in them. So, it is video time for subscription boxes. That's the noise we make. So, Loot Crate this month, I actually looked up the theme. It is Alter Ego, which I'm pretty sure it could be pretty much anything these days, because all superheroes seem to have one, don't they? So it could be anything superhero-y, or, I don't know, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or whatever's. Right, there's lots of stuff to push out in the box, which seems to be... which I would guess from that is make your own Optimus Prime. Just what I always wanted. And there's another Q-Fig, so that'll be in B&M bargains soon. Good grief. There's also been, well, actually, we'll come on to that when we look at the figure. Let's look at the T-shirt first. It is a blue colour, and it has an... Oh, it's Optimus Prime again. Oop, original animated version, look. Which is kind of the noise they made when they transformed, if you didn't know that, and you hadn't seen the old 80s thing. Actually, that's more accurate, isn't it? No, I'm not going to spend the rest of the video attempting to do impressions of robots changing shape. Anyway, that's quite nice. I like that. It looks very 80s. I always like the original Optimus Prime design. And it's a nice... It's not black. It's actually a more interesting colour for once. So, yep, good. I like that. That will be put into my T-shirt rotation. Or at least it would be if I had such a thing. I'm actually going to avoid the figure because I really want to see what the hell this is after just catching a Marvel Hulk 6-inch bowl. A bowl for keeping the Hulk's fingers in. At last. Right. It's just literally a plastic bowl. Is it for finger food? Is that the joke? A finger bowl? No, it's just kind of a green plastic bowl with some fingers around it and official Marvel stuff on it. Well, that's useful if you need a green bowl with slightly unpleasant looking fingers on it. Great, thanks guys. And it is Silver No, I thought it was the armoured Spider-Man that used to do the rounds of the 90s, but I think it's just like a black and white Spider-Man. Because it's Daily Bugle, it's supposed to be like it's the print in the newspaper. And there's Spider-Man hanging upside down and shooting a web, and his head's too big and the paint's not that great on the face. I don't know if you can see that. Well, there's a thing. Loot Crate limited edition, so yeah, B&M bargains in a couple of months. Also, there have been repeated reports of the old Deadpool ones turning up in some Pound Worlds. Just think about that for a second. Anyway, yeah, I mean, if you like that sort of thing, it's all right, isn't it? It's got like a bit of a road and a lamppost and that. But yeah, if you're in the UK, seriously, just hang fire on these and pick them up when they're £2 or £3 in, or £3 or £4, actually, more realistically, in B&M bargains, if you live near one of those. Well, there's a book, you say. DC Comics, The New 52, the ones nobody cared about. The poster collection, 40 removable posters. Now, these are postcards, mate, not posters. Like a poster is a large thing that you stick on a wall. This is a more postcard, this sort of card. Although they've got both two sides to them, so I suppose they're not technically posters. I don't know, I'm confused, but they're small bits of cardboard with pictures on. Here's Superman being menaced by missiles, but he'll be alright because he is super. There's Superman fucking up some architecture. There's Superman fucking up some slightly different alien architecture. I've noticed a theme developing here. There's like zombies, and there's Batman, there's Superman, and I don't know what's going on there. There is a blood-ridden Batman standing on top of a alien parasite leech thing or something, while loads of villains and people on his side look. I'm very confused by that. There is a bit manky there. There is Batman looking pensive, as he is wont to do. There he is, staring up into the sky. I'm not going to go through all these, there's loads of them. Various Batmen. There's a Batman and lots of bats. Now we've got Batgirl and Nightwing and the Joker. I recognise that picture. That was the cover to something, wasn't it? There's Harley Quinn. There's another Harley Quinn looking like a 50s bombshell. You see what they did there? Yeah, there's lots of this stuff. There's the Flash, who I never really cared about. There's Aquaman, who nobody ever really cared about. And a bit of Green Arrow, who seems to have become more popular with the TV series recently. Oh, blimey. You see what they're going for there. That's a bit of a strange homage. And now all the many crises, what they've gone, done, had. and the Cyborg and Supergirl and Wonder Woman and Cheetah having a big smack-up fight. I always wondered how Cheetah could fight Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman's like super-duper mega-powered, and Cheetah's like a half-woman, half-cat thing. There's obviously something in the comics that I haven't read, but there we go. There's the She Can Do It thing. We had that in a crate months, maybe even years ago, didn't we? And that be all that then. Oh, there's an index which tells you where they're from. That's good. Oh, that's something I quite like when you can see where they're from. And that's your lot. Bloody hell. Oh, there's a pin, which I can't actually make. Oh, that is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Ah, that's a little bit of interest. Very, very detailed. Very small detail for an enamel pin badge, actually. That's quite nicely made. But I don't really know why you'd want that, but it's pretty, and it does pin jobs, and here's that book that I really don't care about. And finally, ah yes, you can push out and make your very own Optimus Prime. Well, yeah, I don't know. The problem is, these things are feeling cheaper and cheaper in my mind as they appear more and more in bargain, getting rid of stock type shops. This is just a plastic bowl. You've got the t-shirt as normal, and there's the book of postcards, and that's it. It's slightly slim pickings this month. It's always better to get a few quality bits than loads of absolute tut like bloody inflatable crowns, but I don't know. Feels very slight. Anyway, the battery's about to go on the camcorder, so I'm going to go on the next box. I just tried to make the Optimus Prime, but unfortunately it's been ruined by the label, the address label on the box. That's a shame, it looked quite nice. Anyway, here's a new one, the Funbox.eu, which means it's in Europe or something. Fragile. Wish I hadn't done that. Fragile, it says in it. And in order to show you the word fragile, I think I've just damaged something inside. Brilliant. Ah, look, it's a tiny knight. A tiny knight. That reminds me of something. There's a YouTube channel called Tiny Knight Productions, which is pretty good. Check it out. I'll put a link in somewhere. I met them at a comic convention once, and they're very nice people. Right. What is inside? I have no real idea. There it is. It's a t-shirt, my dear. It's an official Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Well, it's fairly up to date then. There are all the cast, looking dramatic. So what was on the... I'll have to open the bag of doom. Leave that over there so a child can suffocate with it later. And it's Rocket Raccoon, looking all raccoony. There he is, shrieking. And it says Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Wouldn't it be better if it didn't say Guardians of the Galaxy? And certainly better if it didn't say Volume 2, so it didn't date it, and you could wear it forever. But anyway, it's black on dark grey, which is a slightly subtler design than usual. I quite like it, actually. Not sure I'd want Rocket Raccoon on my t-shirt. And that's just me. The actual design of it's pretty good. We've got a blind thing. Game of Thrones vinyl figure. If there's anything in the world that doesn't need wrong-shaped headed, bulbous, crappy, bloody designs, it's Game of Thrones, surely. I seem to remember getting one of these ages ago, and I got the Green Dragon. I swear that really rings a bell. Right, let's open it now. I'm not going to save it for a video, because I've probably done it before. Oh, it's made by Funko as well. Right. Go on, Funko. You do make some good stuff. And inside the black bin bag, which makes you feel as if it's really worthwhile. So I've just spotted what the next thing in the box is. Wow, that's weird. It is... the Black Wolf. I can't remember who had the Black Wolf now or what it was called. I'm going to call it Sooty and say it was owned by Rod Hull. It's got an articulated head. And, yeah, as a stylised thing, it's relatively pretty, I suppose. At least it isn't a giant bulbous-headed human, it's a giant bulbous-headed animal. Well, that's one of them things, isn't it? You can sit over there. Just by this slightly bizarrely, an old Hobbit action figure from the very first film of Gandalf. Well, there we are. Not something I've had. The Hobbit films. Now the Lord of the Rings fans know what it's like to have a prequel trilogy that's a load of old shite. Well, the first one wasn't too bad, just a bit dull. It was an unexpected journey. The second one was pretty nasty. And the third, Battle of the Five Armies, is probably one of the worst films I've ever seen at the cinema. Oh, God. Well, you've probably seen it. You know what it's like. What was going on with that, eh? Well, the answer is an awful lot of things. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff you can find out as to why it was so awful. But anyway, come on, Gandalf. I want to see what it's like. It's actually a really nice figure. Really well articulated. Looks a little bit like Ian McKellen, although it wouldn't pass for him on an ID or something. So if Ian McKellen's watching this and wants a Gandalf ID, don't use this for your photo, mate. You heard it here first. He's got his staff and his sword. I believe it's called Glamdring. I've got no idea where I remember that. And his mighty wizard hat. Does it stay on? Oh yeah, it's very specifically moulded. Oh yeah, look at that. Although it's cast quite a shade. Mind you, that's probably the point of a hat. That's a really nice figure, but, you know, it's quite old and you can probably... I'm saying you'd probably pick them up for nothing, but toys really don't have much of a shelf life these days, do they? You've got them released... You've got a handful in Toys R Us when something's out and then they're gone. I mean, try getting, like, A-Team action figures from that film a few years ago, or Avatar action figures. Avatar was, like, the biggest thing in the world for 10 minutes, wasn't it? Then totally forgotten about, but there were action figures, but you never really saw them. It's probably different if you're in America or something, but there we go. Adventure time! Come on, grab what is probably a pen in a box. Well, that's going to be a thing. Come on. Out you come. It's a bit. We have pen now. It's one of those pen... Oh, did I just do that? Scrape all the plastic off? No, I imagine it was probably like that already, actually. I don't know. It's one of those cheap, slightly sort of promotional feeling sort of pens. I swear I've got one very similar to this with different decals on, but for a company. Oh well, that's the end of that. There's a big box in here, I'm saving to last. 5 postcards of One Piece. Look, there he is with his crazy eyes and his sandals. Wanted Chopper, Sanji, Frankie, and some other stuff. Si c'est continent. Ah, that'll be French then. Well, yeah, postcards of One Piece, if you want to send them to people, I don't know. A Harry Potter keychain, you say? Of the Hogwarts logo and Draco Dormiens Nunquam Titillando. What is it? Titillando, ooh, I think. Which means something like never tickle a sleeping dragon or something. Well, if you want a big bit of rubber hanging off your keys, there is no better cereal. What else could we have got? Oh, hang on. There is another thing. It is a Pikachu looking excited while you put your hot mug on his face. That'll teach him. And from House Martell, Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken, The Exhibition. They had an exhibition about one of the houses in Game of Thrones. That's weird. What is this? Oh, it's a pint glass. I wasn't expecting that. Game of Thrones, The Exhibition 2015. Okay. That's getting on a bit now. And yeah, the House Martell sigil, all that there. Well, never turned down a pint glass, but do you get the feeling some of this stuff is slightly older, isn't it? You're looking at the old Gandalf figures. Those Game of Thrones things have been around a while. This is literally from 2015. Well, it's interesting stuff. And it's not things you could perhaps get elsewhere. Well, you could easily get that elsewhere, actually, that figure. And probably that Game of Thrones thing. But you probably couldn't get this glass elsewhere. I don't know. Probably looking at eBay, there's millions of them. I've got no idea. Oh, well, that was different. Some older stuff. Some different bits and bobs. I'm surprised by the drinking glass. It's a lot better than the bloody plastic bowl, put it that way. Right, I'm going to put that down safely. And I was going to say jump car, I don't know. The next one is bloody massive, right? This is from a place called The Nerdy Byrd. Which I should have cut this on camera, then I wouldn't have had to. The Nerdy Byrd, there it is. It is blue and it has glasses. And the box is absolutely huge. Just a big cardboard box full of stuffs. I think what I'm going to have to do is, yeah, as I had originally planned, put it off camera and move the things into camera. Right, let's do that. Where can this go? Jump cut. Right, here we go. And I've seen something in there already that I'm quite excited about. But first, it's going to be the T-shirt from the Nerdy Byrd. And look. Garments, care and washing tips. Just read those in case you own a T-shirt. Right. I am Groot, says Groot. And look, there's like a younger teenage Groot. See, he's like his own dad. And it is a visual reference to that Star Wars film, The Empire Strikes Back. Thanks, guys. Right. Not the worst design I've ever seen, but it's actually, do you know what, I'm going to open up and see what the quality of the shirt is like. Ooh, it's pretty good, actually. Very silky. But it does have one of those processes of getting that on, where it feels a bit like, you know, a big thing stuck on and feels like it might come off after a while. Maybe that is why they give you very specific washing instructions. Right, next I'm going for the thing I'm excited about. I've always wanted to see one of these. Right, these are sort of statue things based on the old Superpowers action figure collection, which is one of my favourite action figure series from back in the day. I'm going to have to rip off all this nice tissue paper. Unfortunately, it's Green Lantern, which is a character I don't have any connection with. I keep getting Green Lantern stuff, which is great for my friend who really likes Green Lantern, but not so exciting for me. Well, that's obviously Batman, that's probably Robin, there's Superman, and some other... Oh. Why bother putting question marks and things and then tell us exactly what they are underneath? Deary me. So yes, Green Lantern Classic ArtFX Plus statue. 1/10 scale oh, you can't see that. Hang on. There we are. 1/10 scale pre-painted figure Green Lantern Classic. There he is, looking lantern. Right, I'm getting fed up with that joke now. Okay, how do we... oh, bum. I haven't got... Foolishly, I've left all forms of knife and sharpnesses elsewhere. Instead, I'm going to have to be very careful and go in with these. Yeah. Yes! We made it! I can't believe I left the knife upstairs. Ridiculous. Right. It was much bigger than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be about in the scale of the old ones, but no, it is a big thing. Wow. Right, let's take the plastics. Ah, it's more bloody. Annoying. Irritating. Sellotape everywhere. Why? Why? There's no need for it. Okay. And I can't get sellotape off my hands. Oh, this is a really unpleasant experience, actually. Right. Out you come. And it's literally a solid lump. It looks like it has articulation, but that's just to make it look like the old figure. And there is the mighty lantern itself in darkest day and blackest night, or whatever it is. Yeah, that's these are actually nicer than I thought they'd be. Pretty good, but they're actually slightly better than I thought they'd be. They're bloody expensive for what they were as well. It's a really solid, heavy lump of plastic or whatever's. Yeah, the detailing's good. It does look like the old figure, but in some way higher quality. Yeah, these are really, really good. I actually really like a Batman or a Joker one or something. Do they even do a Joker one? No, they only do the heroes. Well, if they sell, maybe they'll do some more. But yeah, that's really nifty. I'm going to put it off to one side and be careful with it. As we pull out another action figure. Animated series, no, well, the new Batman Adventures, as they're calling it, very similar to the old animated series stuff, of the Scarecrow. No, this is a different one, because that was a completely different design in the old animated series, wasn't it? It was like red and had a different thing going on. I'm not sure what this is from. It must be from a cartoon I haven't seen. Anyway, it's a really bloody nice figure. The Scarecrow himself looking a bit more... bit like the scary preacher man from Poltergeist 2, who came up singing scary songs and was trying to like take people off to his dead boat or whatever it was. Can't remember. It's many years since I've seen the film. But horrible fact for you, the reason the actor looked so scary was because the poor bugger was dying of stomach cancer at the time and therefore had very little going on in the way of weight and health. Anyway, this is a version of the Scarecrow. What is Dr. Jonathan Crane, wasn't he, I believe is the Scarecrow's real name. He was some sort of psychiatrist who went loopy and went around scaring people with magic gas because it's Batman. Yeah, that's a really nice figure. I've seen a few of these on the shelves and they're all pretty good, actually. But that's a pretty good... God, this face really is slightly unpleasant. It reminds me of the character Eddie from the old Iron Maiden album covers. Anyway, next it is... Oh my god. It is yet more. Action figure in legal trouble. Better call Saul. Sue him now. Bond fraud. Good plan. 2015 convention exclusive from Mezco Toys. So this will be an action figure of the mighty Saul Goodman. And it's a bloody good figure as well. I got one of these for my dad's birthday years ago. It was of Gus Fring, who was his favourite character from it. He did like Saul as well, though. I might gift this on to him. I shall see. But yeah, that's good. Really good detailing in the suit. Looks a lot like the actor Bob Odenkirk. And you've got a big bag full of money, which is a repeated plot point. Although I remember that more from Better Call Saul than actually Breaking Bad. Still haven't seen Series 2 or 3 of Better Call Saul. Got to watch them, though. The first one was really good. Yeah, there we are. There's the Gustavo Fring figure. There's also a Heisenberg one. And some shitty bobbleheads for idiots. So that's nice. Oh, he comes with his business card as well, and gym bag with money. Now, that's a really good figure. Like it a lot. Go over there and be careful. Next, oh, blimey. It's Ulysses Clow. Clow? I've got no idea. This is actually one of the very few figures or characters I've never bloody heard of. I've got no clue who that is whatsoever. Ulysses Clow is an arms dealer in possession of a large amount of vibranium, a metal with unique properties that is only found in the African nation of Wakanda. Hang on. Is that Andy Serkis's character from Age of Ultron, who seems to be turning up again in the Black Panther movie, according to the trailer? Let's see. I am seeing a hint of Andy Serkis in that face, but yeah, is my man playing tricks me? That's what I'm going to guess it is anyway, because it fits the description on the back. And there's the Hulk, being much beefier, but still not really big enough, because the Hulk's like really hugely, massively tall, isn't he? And it seems to be out of scale there, so that's not very good. But you can mix and match parts between Rampaging Hulk, he's like paler because he's ill, and Mystery Soldier version. Hydra Soldier, does it sound of that? I can't actually make it out. Yeah, can we pin this? Yes! Hydra Soldier, there we are. And the Vision and another version of the Vision. Well, certain lack of imagination in the government's going on there. I don't really like these square things with the round heads. It just looks like Lego, but not quite reduced in detail enough to be cute. But yeah, if you like those things, there's two of them. And, ooh, Ghostbusters Micro Figures Series 1. You can get any of the four main Ghostbusters from the original film: Slimer, Marshmallow Man, of course, and Vigo the Carpathian. The only good thing from Ghostbusters 2. Actually, that's not strictly true, is it? That scene where, I can't remember the character's name, but the guy who's sort of possessed by Vigo turns into like a weird floating nanny and steals Sigourney Weaver's baby. That's a really effective scene. Really great acting. Anyway, so what we got? Yeah, Venkman Spengler, Zedmore, Stantz, Slimer, Vigo, Zool, oh, that's Dana Azul, Keymaster, again, that's Rick Moranis as it, Janine, Nunzio Scaleri. Is that not the guy who's been electrocuted? And you see him flying around, the ghost one flying around at the start of Ghostbusters 2? I sent him to the electric chair 20 years ago. Yes, it is, because there's his brother, Tony Scaleri. There were two of them. You've got a Terror Dog, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, Gozer, an Ecto-1, that's interesting, and a Librarian. That's interesting. I'm going to rip it open and see what it's like. Normally I would wait for a blind bag video, but sod it, let's do it. It is Spengler! Looking very, very stylised, to say the least. There he is with his ludicrously gigantic quiff, which seems to be something of a homage to the animated series. Yeah, it's just the usual sort of stylised thing, big square shoes for some reason. And you can actually use his hair as a motorcycle ramp for doing stunts. So that's cool. And he's got a PKE meter and all that gubbins. Oh, well, that was interesting. And finally, he says, and then thinking he saw two things, but he didn't. Here is an amazing 3D collector's limited edition lenticular Star Wars Rogue One thing. What can we show here? See, there's the good guys being goodies, and there's the bad guys. Old Ben Mendelsohn being evil in front of his incredibly thin troopers. That's an odd one, because there's a real sense of depth from it. I wonder if it would have been better, actually, to not have it change from the good guys to the bad guys, and just go with the full depth, because it would have been really quite impressively 3D. Quite like that. That's a nifty thing. Not seen something quite like that before, but I've seen many similar things. I might hang on to that one. Oh, that was good. Well, we're not at the end yet. Simple reason, I got sent some stuff by Sega recently, the video game people I thought you might be interested in, right? I shit you not, this box arrived because I basically got an email from Sega saying, what's your address? We've got some stuff to send you. I'm like, ooh, I likes me some Sega. So they sent me this, and you open it up, and inside was this sheet of cardboard. Dear Sir Madam, I hear you plan to use the Crazy Taxi Gazillionaire app to start your cab company. No. No, that's really not going to happen. Because if any of you remember the previous Crazy Taxi app, which was like a version of the game that you basically couldn't play because there was no gameplay mechanics to it, and it was just full of microtransactions and like really despicable stuff. It was one of the worst things to have hit the game industry for some time. So bad it was damaging, and everybody involved should hang their fucking heads in shame, which didn't make me very keen to try the next version. So I've not looked at it. Crazy Taxi is dead to me now. I will only play it on the Dreamcast. They give you a logo of a fake corporation, which is a reverse sticker you could put on a window or on a car. You see, a car, Crazy Taxi. But the actual meat of what is inside is a pack of, well, a large bottle of Polos and a bottle of Evian water. And that's it. It's got to be the weirdest promotional thing going. I don't get many of these, but bloody hell, that's... Yeah, that surprised, I would have thought pretty much anybody would have sent that, which was odd. But then they sent something nicer later for a different thing. They sent this rather nifty Sega Forever Volume 1 mixtape, actual audio cassette. That slightly cheapy, light plasticky feel cassette, which is pretty much all you can actually get these days if you're getting things done in bulk. Yes, I've looked into it for a project. You might hear about it one day. And this is number 279 out of 512, which I didn't realise it was numbered. But yeah, I've played it, and it does indeed have all these musics on. I also quite like the way they put it together as if it's an old mixtape. It's actually printed, obviously. Some poor sod didn't have to sit in the factory and write all these out by hand. And it's, what is it showing? Cassette tapes change music forever. We're about to the same... Oh yeah, because they're putting a load of like old games out on mobile, which I've completely forgotten to try. Right, I'm going to go and download that now and then quickly tell you what I think of it. So, I've been fiddling about with my phone for an hour or so, and here are my conclusions of Sega Forever. Right, first thing I'll point out is obviously your phone doesn't have any physical controls, so make sure you've got a Bluetooth controller or something if you do want to play these, because of course, on-screen controls on a mobile phone are the tool of the devil when it comes to retro games. Anyway, yes, they've spat out 5 games so far. You've got Sonic the Hedgehog, Phantasy Star 2, Altered Beast, Kid Chameleon, and I really wish I'd written this down because I've forgotten the other one. It's that one they keep... the comic one that they keep bringing out these days, even though it wasn't that popular back... Comic Zone. It's one of those games that's not that great, but has really, really good graphics and animation. Anyway, yeah, they're released as separate apps. They're ad-supported, so they're free if you want ads, or you can pay like £1.99 or something and have the ads taken away. The Sonic was fairly... it's quite an interesting thing. They've added all sorts of little bits and bobs, but the rest were just really Mega Drive emulations, very bare bones, as in they kind of run. And yeah, it ain't great. I'm going to be honest with you. They all had stuttery frame rates. Like the frame rate was not in any way fixed. I mean, they'd all be running at about 60, wouldn't they? But no, it was kind of up and down, a little bit jerky, and a little bit glitchy, and quite unpleasant. I was running them on an iPhone 7, which you'd think would have enough power to do that. So I had a quick bash on the Android tablet as well, and it did exactly the same thing. And also, all the graphics have an annoying filter over them to try and smooth it out, as opposed to giving you the original pixels. So, not very impressed with that at all, to be honest with you. But hey, I did like the tape, so thank you for that. I shall be passing it on to a man who really does love his Sega. Oh, and I forgot to say, the mixtape also came with this Bic ballpoint pen. It is blue.
Subscribe for more.